You've probably seen CoQ10 on supplement shelves, right? But do you really know what this little molecule does? Well, today we're going to dig into the science behind what some call the body's own spark plug, and why it's so incredibly critical for your heart and your energy.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll kick things off with what CoQ10 is. Then we'll dive into how it literally powers your cells and helps your heart. We'll also look at a really surprising link it has to statin drugs, and then wrap it all up with the practical stuff you need to know.
All right, first up, the body's spark plug. So what is this stuff? And why is it so fundamental to, us being alive?
I mean, really think about that for a second. From your heart beating every moment to your brain firing off thoughts, every single thing you do requires energy. So where does that initial spark actually come from? Well, the answer is Coenzyme Q10. Its other name, ubiquinone, actually comes from the word ubiquitous, which means it's found everywhere. And that's no accident. It's especially packed into your hardest working organs like your heart, your liver, and your kidneys, basically any place with massive energy demands. Now, to really get what CoQ10 is all about, we have to go microscopic. We're going to zoom way, way in to see its most important job in action. Okay, so inside almost every one of your cells, you've got these little powerhouses called mitochondria. Think of them like tiny factories. Their whole purpose in life is to take the fuel from the food you eat and turn it into this usable energy molecule called ATP. And ATP, that's the universal energy currency for your entire body. Now, this might look a little complicated, but trust me, the idea is pretty simple. Just picture that energy factory. Electrons from your food, those are the raw materials. CoQ10, well, that's the essential delivery truck. Its job is to shuttle those electrons down the assembly line. If those trucks stop running, the whole factory just shuts down. It's that simple. No CoQ10, no energy, period.
And here's where it gets really clever. CoQ10 is a master multitasker because it exists in two forms. Just stick with that delivery van analogy. When it's empty, that's the ubiquinone form. It's ready to pick up electrons to make energy. But once it's loaded up, that's the ubiquinol form. It not only delivers its cargo, but it also acts like a powerful antioxidant, putting up a protective shield to defend your cells from damage. Pretty cool, right?
So now that we get its role in creating energy, it makes perfect sense why we're going to talk about the heart next. It is the body's most energy-hungry muscle, after all. This is a really critical connection that researchers found. It turns out, in patients with heart failure, the lower their Q10 levels, the more severe their condition tends to be. And it just makes sense, right? A struggling heart is basically an energy-starved engine, and it seems to be missing its spark plug. And this is where the story gets really compelling. Just look at this data from a huge study called the Q-Synbio trial. When they gave CoQ10 to patients with heart failure, the results were just wow. Notice the numbers in that CoQ10 column are dramatically lower for everything. Fewer major heart events, lower mortality, fewer hospital stays. This wasn't just a small bump. This was a total game changer. To put it another way, what the trial found was that taking CoQ10 basically cut the risk of having a major heart-related event, like a heart attack or a stroke, by almost half. That is a massive impact. And listen, this wasn't just some one-off lucky finding. A huge meta-analysis that just came out in 2024 looked at data from 33 different trials. And what did they find? They confirmed these powerful benefits, which really helped cement CoQ10's role in supporting heart health. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something that affects millions and millions of people, cholesterol-lowering medications. Because it turns out there's a really direct and important link to CoQ10. If you do, or maybe you know someone who does, you're definitely going to want to lean in for this next part. Statins are amazing at what they do, but they have this other effect on the body's chemistry. So here's the catch-22. Statins work by blocking a key biological highway to cut down on cholesterol production. The problem is, your body uses that exact same highway to make its CoQ10. So when you turn down the dial on cholesterol, you can't help but turn down the dial on CoQ10 too. So what happens when you accidentally drain the tank of the very molecule your muscles need for energy? Well, for a lot of people, it looks like this. This drug-induced CoQ10 drop is widely believed to be one of the main culprits behind the muscle pain, the fatigue, and the weakness that some people feel when they take statins. Now, to be super clear here, the big clinical trials trying to prove that taking CoQ10 fixes this muscle pain, well, the results have been a mixed bag. The evidence just isn't slam-dunk conclusive yet. But because the biological mechanism makes so much sense, it's still a really common strategy that many doctors recommend for patients who are struggling with these side effects.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground, so let's bring it all home with the practical information. If you're thinking about CoQ10, what are the most important things to keep in mind?
Okay, so here's your cheat sheet. First, since it's fat-soluble, you want to take it with a meal that has some fat in it that helps your body absorb it. The ubiquinol form is usually the easiest for your body to use. But look, if you remember nothing else from this, remember this one, safety first. While it's usually safe, it can interact with certain meds, like blood thinners. This is why you must talk to your doctor before even thinking about starting it.
So when you think about it, from powering our most vital organ to potentially helping with medication side effects, CoQ10 is a truly fundamental piece of our biology. It's a fascinating question, and one that's definitely worth exploring with your healthcare provider. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.